Hello there, folks. Recently I've been helping my father with cleaning out a lot of his records. He's giving away his record collection, and I've been helping him by taking them here, taking the what have been interesting, and then I have been also been going through and see what I can give away to thrift stores, what is too bad condition to give away to thrift stores, and so on. But in middle of everything, I saw a whole bunch of records with covers that were, to say the least, a bit odd and funny. And as you know, I'm a big fan of stuff that are so hilariously bad that it's actually funny. And mostly it is the records themselves, what is on the records, that are the most interesting, when record recordings are making you feeling like, what did they ever think of here? But of course there are album covers also that are really strange and interesting. So I thought that why not gather some of these and give you a little taste of not so great album covers. And I can say that I think absolutely most of them are Swedish, and we're talking a majority of religious albums. This is not a knock on religious albums. It's just that these records may not have been the best ideas to have these covers. We're talking some Swedish dancing orchestras. So let's give you a taste of old Swedish hilariously bad album covers from the, well, I think the age are between 60s to 80s. So let's start with this religious one in the area of Stockholm in Sweden. We have a statue called God's Hand by artist named Carl Milles. This a classic that has been there for many years, and it doesn't look all that weird normally, but on this cover it looks a little bit odder when we have the singer and musician from the temple in Stockholm in the album called Tror du, do you believe? At least this. You may not want to photograph this statue from the frog perspective, since you know how it looks like. It looks like almost like the guy in the hand is about to fall off, fall down. And what about this really bad drawn, supposed to be light from the sky, supposedly God, shining down on this guy? No, just no. Moving to the desert and the trio Börje, Lasse and Peggy, and the album Med egna ord, with their own word. I don't know where they've taken this, but it looks a kind of boring, doesn't it? Really desert gig, especially when they have been with an amateur computer or something, made it looks like, with an effect that makes it looks like they are in some kind of a real desert. This is Swedish country dancing orchestra Rankarna with the singer Mats Rådberg. Looks pretty normal in this album, The Black Sheep of the Family. There's the sheep, which is really the black sheep of this picture. And you want a closer look? Here you go. Looks like a woodpecker that actually had been taken by mistake a bottle of hair growing drink or something like that. Going back to the religious stuff. What is it with guys who can't have a proper band name? This band is named Ingvar Nilsson, Nico Jonsson, Inglis Karlsson, and Märta Ekström. Does anybody remember that band name? And if we step aside from the name for a bit, really interesting. The old lady here looks like she's a kind of a teacher taking her students to a kind of a exhibition in the woods, telling them that to now behave. She looks really mean. And this is supposed to looks really authentic, like they having a concert in the wood. Then a bongo drum and a hi-hat was the best thing you can take out. I understand you can't take an entire drum set, but come on. And the microphone, what does that symbolize? I don't know. So many questions, no answers. And speaking of questions, when you're taking a picture of a band, isn't the idea that you're supposed to see the band and see what kind of guys are you listening to? When it comes to this teamet, the team of Evangelium, Värnamo, I don't think you see what the kind of band they are. It looks like when they go to a copy machine of old age and they are all out of color with exception from black and white, and too much black color had come out. This is a band called Gospel 4. Okay, now let's play some Sesame Street. Let's do a little counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys of Country 4. Now, someone might say that here it says Sten Jonsson and Håkan Carlén Orchestra. Okay? 4 members plus 1 Sten Jonsson makes 5. That means that the orchestra is 2 members. I don't buy that. That they're just standing up there for no reason at all while the photographer is hiding in the woods and looking at these guys in disguise. Free as a bird. Jan Lindblad is a nature photographer that had his most success with albums where he whistles like a bird. He was a great whistler who could imitate birds. And he made albums with that, and he did nature films where he, for filming among tigers and so on. It's one thing to imitate a bird like sounding like them, but I'm not sure it's a good idea to imitate them by flying also. Just my thought. This is a country group called Country 5. Yes, they are 5 members this time. All dressed up in country clothes. Maybe I like to know where these 2 guys are staring at. Okay, where's the camera? Down on the floor? Hey guys, maybe we should do a little focusing. Maybe you should focus on the camera. Here I am. Look a little ridiculous from 2 of them. When it comes to religious group, religious album, you're having a positive meaning. You're singing about God and what God is going to do. You should have a positive album cover. Tell that to the Ibra choir, who did for the album A Short Minute and Kort Minut this cover. I was starting to think that the only thing that stopped them from doing an album cover that is totally black, with exception from the white letters, is that someone told them it looks too depressive. You need to lighten them up a bit. Okay, Lars, can you go out and take a picture? And he lay down on the floor and took a picture of the autumn leaves. That was the happiest picture he could come up with. Here we have a dancing orchestra, Stig Lawrence with Dagmar. And on the front cover, doesn't look all that unusual. Looks like pretty normal dancing orchestra. But hey, look honey, I shrunk the kids. Or the lady was turning giant and wanted to prove I can have these guys on my arm. Another dancing orchestra, more famous in Sweden, Sten and Stanley. It's not often I see someone dressed like this. I don't normally judge dressing all that much because every year has their have their fashion, I guess. But hey, look at Sten here, pointing, laughing. Hey, this guy look ridiculous. Sorry, Sten, you have the same clothing. Sometime less is more. Sometimes it is not good to have too many people on the picture. Tell that to this group of from the church Maranatha. In the album Åter till Bibeln, Back to the Bible. Now we're going to name all of these guys. And to make it a little bit easier, we have turned them black and white, so we can't see one damn thing about them. Okay, I understand that you are a lot of people on this record singing, but you don't have, maybe if you are that many people, you don't have to have all of them in as picture. And one of my favorites. This is a Norwegian group called Four Jets. A Norwegian dancing orchestra that released an album called Part-Time Clown. Clown obviously spells with K-L-O-V-N. Don't have English in Norway? What the hell is this? And what is this? It looks like an albino muted fish. Really great. I can spice them up with some classics. I think I might have shown before, but for those of you who haven't seen them, I can show them also. Some that I've had before. This is another one of my absolute favorites. It might have been in the 70s a bit overrated to take a clear picture. But this is damn ridiculous. This is religious singer Jan Sparring, and the album with Jan Sparring in the park. Now we're going to see who's who in the band. Was the record label really that satisfied with this picture? What's even more interesting is that it is a gatefold, not open this way, but this way. This is the back side. Here you have a clear picture of every member. On the back side, okay. Let's take a little ride on a golden record with Flamingo Quintet. flying over the city. This is a classic, as is this. I've shown before a cult classic album with the band Karlstad Örjan, where they sang about our king and mostly our queen when they got married, even though they didn't actually say that in the lyrics. They teased that. But it was from an album called Det sa bara klick. It was what the king said when he met our queen, according to his own words. Okay, you have the band, and you have the absolute worst picture of Stockholm there is in the background. Was it so damn hard to take a picture that's clear and say no one's satisfied? Did they just take one picture and say, I don't have time to take in, well, I take this, whatever it looks like? Or was it some kind of a special trend that every picture in Swedish records is supposed to be so unclear and unfocused that you don't see what it is? This is Swedish Schlager singer Stefan Rydén that had some hits in the 70s. Here he sings Swedish singer Ove Thörnqvist. Maybe it took that a little too long. Making a tattoo of it might be taking the step a little bit too far, in my opinion. I mean, where are you going to have the picture for the next album? Are you going to show the back? And though it's interesting that this is a genuine autograph actually from the singer. So he put his name little here and there everywhere. Now, as I said, I usually don't judge fashion because I'm not that interested in fashion, but sometimes it is so ridiculous that you can't help it. Like the Swedish dancing orchestra Svenssons. What are they wearing? Anybody would like to see me wear like that? Write in the comments. But I can't promise that I will keep that. We have another Swedish dancing. There's a lot of Swedish dancing orchestras now because they were famous for having the most ridiculous cover in the past. How about this one? Another classic that everyone who likes hilariously bad covers loves. An album called Hallelujah, but it's not a religious album this time. They called the Vikings, Vikingarna. And they took this really, really hard, actually. They dress up like Vikings. Having some, I don't know if it's whipped cream or shaving cream. I think it's shaving cream, actually, on the top on a couple of, supposed to look like beer bottles. Beer glasses. This papier-mâché turkey or whatever it's supposed to be. Looks like a real swell party. Hallelujah. And finally, this is not the same band, but it could have been after the party. I don't know. Someone's house in the middle of the night, I guess, because one of them wearing nightgown. After for what I understand, might have been a great Halloween party. Because one is dressed like a clown, one is dressed like a cowboy, one had kilt and dressed like a Scotsman. And I don't know what they're talking about, and I'm not sure I want to know what they're talking about. Maybe fashion. This Sten Karlsson and Salta Mandlar. So as you can see, 60s and 70s and some of the 80s also were really great time to cover set. makes you think, what the hell happened in front of that photograph? So I hope you have enjoyed this little walk through horrible covers. So until next time, I hope that every one of you have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.